In today's Reddit cheating story, join us as we dive deep into a heartfelt story of love, loss, and resilience. After 25 years together, a couple faces their most challenging times, dealing with depression, the strains of a dead bedroom relationship, and the impact of a serious medical condition in the family. OP shares his journey through heartache and discovery, from unearthing his wife's affair to confronting the realities of their relationship. To find out how this story ends, get yourself a coffee and grab a bowl of popcorn so we can get into it. My wife and I have been married for 19 years, but in total, we've been together for 25. We have 3 great kids under the age of 14, and in 2015, she lost her mother to cancer, and in 2016, she lost her father to the same disease, which sent her into a deep depression. For the following 2 years, I took care of the kids while she worked. And as you might have guessed, we were in a dead bedroom relationship during this time. Nothing made her happy, and because she didn't talk to me, I started playing video games when the kids went to bed. After 2 years, she started coming out of her depression, started talking more, and wanted to do stuff with the family. We even started being physical again. This went on for a year, then I lost my father, which ended up sending me into a depression because we were very close. Much like my wife did to me, I closed myself off to her, started playing video games more, pretty much ignoring her. But I never stopped saying I love you, giving her hugs or taking her out. We started sleeping in different rooms because our son had a medical condition, so we had to keep an eye on him at night. I slept in his room and moved my Xbox in there so I could play games for a few hours before going to sleep. When COVID happened, my kids' school went remote, and my wife started working from home. Her job required her to start looking for supplies so she could reopen her business when the restrictions stopped. And at the same time, she started working closely with a colleague. After a few months, she started being distant and stopped communicating with me. I tried to keep telling her that I loved her, and got her small gifts to show my love and appreciation. We decided to keep our kids at home to learn remotely because our son had a serious medical condition, and I was so busy with their school that I didn't notice that the distance between us was getting worse until much later. The sex completely stopped again. And then in summer of 2021, I start working for Lyft because we needed the money. I worked on the days she worked from home so she could be close to our son's school. And in the fall of 2021, I picked up a lady from the airport and drove her to a hotel downtown. During the ride, she was talking to her friend on the phone about meeting up with her affair partner to have sex because they are both in town for business. She said that her husband's at home with the kids and is playing video games, that they haven't had sex in over a year, and he's too busy to know that she's cheating. While she was talking, I couldn't help but think that it sounded like me and my wife. The conversation that this woman had on the phone inspired me to start being more affectionate and loving towards my wife. But still, the distance was getting worse. I wrote her a letter, telling her I loved her and that I know there's some distance between us. I wanted to work it out, but she had to be willing to work on us too. She said that she'd try to be better. But for the next year, she hardly showed me any affection and didn't want to have sex because her pills for depression did a number on her sex drive. We barely held hands, and she doesn't say that she loves me unless I say it first. And whenever we were in the car together, she would sleep so she didn't have to talk to me. D-Day was May 4th. My wife had gone into the office, and while I was at work, I texted her during the day, but she never replied. She finally called me, and I told her that I'd been texting her all day, and she told me that she never got my text because of the signal in her office. She also has Google Chat, so I messaged her there so she could see it on her work computer. But still, she never replied. After she got home and we put the kids to sleep, she took a shower, which is when I finally broke down and checked her phone. Now, May 4th is a big Star Wars day. May the 4th be with you and all that. So I check her texts from me, and it was true that she didn't get them until she left the office, but it was when I checked Google Chat that I found out she was cheating. She woke up on that day and messaged this guy on Google Chat. They were sharing all the Star Wars gifts regarding May 4th, but I didn't get a single one from her. I checked all their messages, and the affair had been going on for almost 3 years. There were tons of I miss yous and I love yous. Gosh, I felt so stupid. I was completely devastated. This guy moved to Kansas in 2020, but goes into the office 1 week a month as he works remotely the rest of the time. My guess is that when they had Zoom meetings with each other to get their business open, he started to flirt with her. In the past, guys would flirt with her, and she'd shoot them down, and this guy wasn't even as handsome as me. I'm not a 10, and I have a little dad bod, but if I'm a 7, he was definitely a 4. She began to flirt back with him. They would go to lunch together, then the lunches turned into going to his hotel for lunchtime sex. She would tell me that she had work late too, so she could hook up with him some more. And I even saw a text message to her friend saying that the sex with him wasn't as good as it was with me. She just craved the attention. I screenshot everything to myself, but didn't say anything as I was having surgery in the summer and needed her help. After the surgery, we decided to move closer to family, but she barely helped me look for houses. I checked her phone again in October, but I guess the relationship came to an end in June before my surgery. He was mad that she was taking time to take care of me and the kids, and to be honest, I was wondering why she became more affectionate, loving, and wanting to have sexy time with me after I healed. Last week, we got into a huge argument because she started being distant and wasn't communicating again. So, I yelled and told her that I knew she cheated on me with a coworker. She denied and said I was overreacting, so I shoved the evidence in her face. Suddenly, she stopped yelling and putting me down, and instead started to cry. I left and went to my sister's house, and only went back home to be with the kids for Christmas, and told her I'm filing for divorce after the new year. She cried and asked who'd drive her to work and pick her up and who will help with the kids. I told her to ask the guy she fucked, then she started crying some more, saying that we can work it out through marriage counseling. I will seek full custody when I file the divorce paperwork, also alimony and child support. I feel like I wasted 25 years on this relationship. While it's unfortunate that their marriage had to end in such a way, I wouldn't say it was a complete waste, as I'm sure OP doesn't regret his children. In any case, he is right to leave, as his wife didn't do the one thing that every partner should do, which is protect their relationship from those who would seek to destroy it. To have a 3-year relationship with a coworker is super disrespectful, and any regret or remorse shown after the fact is meaningless, at least to me. The whole time OP's wife was sleeping with this guy and lying to her husband, she didn't give a damn about the turmoil it would have on him. If you can't rely on your partner to protect you from one of the most painful experiences, at least emotionally, there really isn't any reason for you to be with them. While both parties went through some dark times, they should have been there for each other after all. That should be one of the main benefits that come with being in a relationship. You should be able to count on your partner to be there when times are hard, not just when things are sunshine and rainbows. Much like other couples who cheat on their partners, they are left to pick up the shattered pieces of their life, as their affair partner doesn't have to deal with any of the consequences. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video on coffee and popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.